Max here, and it's day one of my salsa challenge. This month, my strategy is going to be to go to as many classes as I get a chance to, because I think there's going to be no substitute for actually dancing with people and having an instructor actually give you that feedback. Salsa on!
If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button to keep up with my content. Now let's get into this challenge.
So I'm on my way to my first salsa dance class and I'm pretty excited. And I think selecting the right teacher is really important to getting the results as fast as you can. I think sometimes people underestimate the importance of finding the right teacher. But the guy's called Sanushka. His methodology is really about deliberate learning and about really understanding the internal of salsa dancing and not just learning a set routine.
So after meeting Sanushka, I kind of compare him to the Yoda of salsa, because every now in the middle of the conversation, he would say something like this.
What often happens is we can understandably get caught up in practicing perhaps things that aren't going to progress us that fast. If someone moves their hips really well, so a student goes home and they move their hips, and that's all well and good, but if the issue is more fundamental, then no matter how well you move your hips, you're not going to necessarily progress. You're going to hit a proverbial ceiling.
And this wasn't unusual for Sanushka. He definitely thought really deeply when it came to salsa and dancing. He also set me a challenge, and he came up with 7 specific goals for me.
Challenging goal would be for you to dance on time. Secondly, that you're dancing to the correct rhythm of the dance. Thirdly, I would say to genuinely look like a Cuban salsa dancer. Fourthly, that you actually have some style, some groove, some flavor. And fifth, to actually smile, have fun, enjoy yourself. Number 6, to do say 15 steps. 7, to lead your partner very well. How's that as an objective?
I feel like we need to get started ASAP. Sounds like all that.
Alright, let's do it.
Let's do it.
We started off the lesson. He was kind enough to really talk me through the history of salsa and how it came to be and what are its roots and what separates Cuban salsa, which is what we decided we were going to do from all the other different types of salsa. The first lesson was mainly about trying to learn the beat of salsa and trying to keep the rhythm. And we were just dancing around linearly, so with no shapes, just moving back and forward and in circles, just to really practice the real basics of salsa. I also got the homework of having to learn a piano montuna, which is a rhythm in salsa music, so that way I could better understand the music. So the next day I went home and I started practicing on that. The first few days of salsa classes was really focused around footwork and maybe a little bit of elbow movement. We really were just doing basic things like walking side to side or in circles. Every time I'd go, there'd be a different person to dance with and a different circumstance of me dancing, maybe a group class or an individual class I was joining in. We started to learn a few different basic steps of the salsa, so things like the agua and the guapaya, which are really important steps in Cuban salsa to connect different moves from different frames, whether it was an open frame or a closed frame. Everyone was really lovely that I got to dance with, which was super helpful, and everyone was giving me amazing feedback. As the days went on, I kept learning new steps and starting to get a little bit more confident in the basic steps of salsa. On this day, I was learning solo dancing, which is where you can actually step away from your partner and express yourself a little bit before rejoining your partner in salsa dancing, which I thought was pretty fun and pretty cool.
Things are going pretty good, but I've run into a really big roadblock, and that's trying to look Cuban when dancing. As an Australian, you dance a little bit like an Australian, so I'm a little bit stiffer, and you don't get that flow in your body. And there's so many things you need to think about. So for one, I would be using a lot of shoulders instead of moving through my ribs. My elbows weren't really moving high enough, and so there wasn't a lot of flavor in my steps. Another thing is I wasn't transferring my weight down. I was stepping really lightly, and I was stepping almost on the balls of my feet, just on the top, but I wasn't actually using a full weight transfer as I dance. It's a fun challenge. I'm meeting amazing people. There's an amazing community behind salsa, so I'm loving that community aspect. Now it's just all about these little techniques, so I can actually start getting that flavor. Tomorrow's my final performance. Let's do this!
Thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. Next month, I'll be doing the challenge of trying to learn a backflip. If you want to see some more of my videos, hit the video button in the right. And as always, happy learning!